Today we're going to learn about what we learned today about gas. So the first thing we learned is about the kinetic molecular theory, which states that gas particles are in constant motion and exhibit perfectly elastic collisions. It can be used to explain both Charles and Boyle's laws, which we learned in a couple last videos, and the average kinetic energy of a collection of gas particles is directly proportional to absolute temperature only. The most common states on Earth are solid, liquid, and gas. First, we're going to learn is about ideal gas, which is the gas composed of many randomly moving point particles that are not subject to interactions. The ideal gas concept is useful because it obeys the ideal gas law, which is a simplified equation of state. So, for example, in any real gas, the particles themselves take up some volume, and there are always some intermolecular forces between the particles that are close together. Although it doesn't fit perfectly to describe the behavior of any real gas, it is useful because it closely describes the behavior of most gases. Now we're going to talk about gas pressure. Gas pressure is the force of the gas particles colliding with the walls of the container. Imagine walking barefoot on a clean floor and on the floor scattered with small hard objects such as pebbles. In both cases, the object you walk on pushes back with the same force, your own weight. The pressure of the gas is the result of gas particles pushing against and applying force to the walls. Because the particles are constantly hitting the sides of the container, there is pressure any place there is gas. Temperature of a gas is often necessary to measure temperature which is in kelvins, which in the Kelvin scale, the number 0 represents the lowest possible temperature, and the temperature is known as absolute zero. The units of Kelvin and Celsius temperature scales are the same size. The behaviors of substances depend on the temperature and pressure. There are 4 variables that describe the state of a gas. There's volume, temperature, pressure, and the amount of gas, which is measured in a thing called moles. A mole is an amount equal to the number of atoms in 12 grams of carbon-12. Let's go over the 4 behaviors of gases. So we have the volume, which is the space of the gas that it occupies. The volume of a gas is often measured in liters. A liter is equal to the volume of a cube measuring 10 centimeters on each side. Then we have temperatures. Temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the particles of a substance. It can be measured in kelvins, Celsius, or Fahrenheit. Temperature is measured with thermometers. Gases at higher temperatures have more energy. Then we have pressure. It is the force applied to the surface area of an object per unit of area. It can be measured in pounds, inch, or the atmospheres, which are commonly used to describe a gas. Pressure is measured with a variety of instruments that are sensitive to changes in force. Lastly is the amount. The amount is the number of atoms or molecules, because even a small sample size contains a great many particles. We use the mole as the unit.